Well, as part of our progress in this class, we want to give this little assignment. In this assignment, we are asked to look at this data. This is the data here given to us. And what we are asked to do with this data is, number one, we need to classify the data to see which of the states is of low standard of living, and those are within the middle class, and those are within the high standard of living. The high class, the low class, and the middle class. And then we carry out all these assignments and plot a graph. So this is what we can use in our next class to see how much we've understood some of the things we did in our first class. So just take a look as I'm going to do this. I'll send the video, send you the worksheet, and then in your free time between now and Friday, you try to see what you can do. So I'm going to be slow so that you'll be able to get it. Now, first of all, we need to present the data in such a way that it can be editable, right? This is the data we have. This is the data we have, right? So we want to do it in such a way it can be editable. The outcomes can change. We want the outcomes to change if possible. So I can decide to come in here and insert a sheet, right? Then I'll come over here. I want to manipulate this data so that the outcome can change. I can say insert. So I still have my main here. Then I will say equal to, maybe I don't even need all this. Let's see if it works this way. I can say this is equal to, right, this amount in brackets times whatever I put in this cell, right? So here will now be change outcome. So here I can now come over here and put convert this cell to a percentage cell, and then come over here to data and put all the possible percentage increase. List can say 0.1 should be there, or increase it by 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, that is 30% increase, 1.4, that is 40% increase, 1.5, 50%, 1.6, 60%, 1.7, 1.8, 1.9, and then 2. That means that whenever I increase this by 1.1, the value increases. So, but I will come over into this cell and something like this, 150, the 150, because I don't want the 150, which is the default, to go off. Or I will go back to the data. There are many ways to do it, and include just one. So whenever it is 1, it is the actual value that was there, right? Then I can drag down. See, if I want to drag down, I will have to make this place an absolute value or a constant so that the cell doesn't change. So I'll press Fn in my keyboard and press F4. So drag down. Okay, so it doesn't work that way. What I'll do now is to come in here, push this data by the side, pick this man here into this place, the man to this place, then and then I will work on the data. So here will now be whatever that is here times this. Then I remove this function. So for this now, since it's picking like this cell here be an absolute value. So if I drag down, the outcome will change, right? So, and whenever I increase this to 2, the outcome change. 1, the outcome changes back. 30% increase, outcome will change. So, and then the next thing I want to do, let me leave it at 100%. The next thing I want to do, I'll do the same thing for these guys, right? Say women, because I want my user to be able to manipulate the data. So the same thing, I'll say this times whatever is here. Then I will absolute the multiplier. Fn in your button, press Fn, that is function, then you press function number 4 to make it constant, and you drag down. The same thing here, insect, right? I have children. Why am I creating another children? Because I want this data, the second data I'm creating for children, to have the ability to change, right? I want it to have the ability to change. So I'll come over here, make this a constant. Function F4. Okay, now I have all the ones I want. So these ones, I decide to this here, Control S, then Control V. Then I can hide these ones. I don't want them to be seen. Hide them, you have to be careful when you're doing, sorry. Them. Okay. So now I'm going to find the average. This is going to be the average of this, comma, this, and this, comma, this. Have my average, right? And drag down average meaning. Here they say states with the richest man. States with the richest man. And we have been told somebody that is classified as richest is somebody who earns more than 250. So come over here, say equals to if bracket this guy here is greater than 250, then you take the state, otherwise take empty. See? So you drag down these two. These are the states, people earning more than 250,000. Analyzing the data further, so state with the richest woman. State with the richest woman, same thing. Bracket here is greater than 250. Then take state, otherwise take nothing. Drag down, do it again. It's like a 250. $50,000. That's correct. 250. Okay, drag down So they're saying there is no state one that is stealing more than 250. See again, if in brackets this year is greater than 250 to 3, then take states, otherwise take nothing. Then I drag down. It's already, so none of them 250. So no rich woman, too bad. Okay, let's reduce that of which, let's make it 200. Just woman in the state. Let's start up. Then, just child, right? If brackets this guy here, children is greater than 100, say greater than 59, then take the state, otherwise take pattern. So we okay, still the same states repeating themselves. Then standard of living is based on average earning. So this is where we have to do a lot of work in the standard of living, because we are told here that if the higher standard of living is measured by an average income of a state being this, and below 150 are between 1.5 and 5.59 should be 549, correct it, 49 are what? Middle class. So what do we do? So this is where we have a lot of, so we're going to say if the average salary here is greater than 250, then say high class, right? Otherwise, say nothing. Hmm? Again, the same cell, if in brackets this person is greater than or is less than 150,000, take lower class, take close, or you take the original edition. We go again to be fulfill that objective. If now we are looking at the middle class, if in bracket 150,000 is less than or equal to average income, comma, so if one is greater than or equal to average income, the average income itself is less than or equal to 250,000. Then take the class. Otherwise, take the first construct. So I take it again. See how we went from the first construct to the second, then to the final one. The final one, which is a middle class, they are in between a particular set, and look at how we've placed them. So let's see if all the conditions are valid. You can see, do we have middle class showing up? Class. Let's look at our middle class very quickly. Class. So the formula doesn't give you what you want. You have to cut it very well again. Make sure it is corrected to give what you want. So let's do it again and see what happens. We said again, let's take it again. So if bracket this guy here, right, is greater than, so this guy here is greater than 250, 1, 2, 3, then take high class. Otherwise, let's give it another value. Take middle class. Then now I see if bracket this guy here is now less than 50,000. So now take lower class. Otherwise, still take this. Get it? So the last one now will now be if in bracket this guy, no, and we are now going to very important. If in bracket 150,000 is greater than, is less than or equals to this guy, this cell here, and this guy, which is J4, the average earning of Abia. The average earning of Abia is less than equal to 250,000. Then take middle class. And then if not, take everything. Now you will notice that we are giving and them in inverted quotes. So we go again, our middle class should be showing now. You see our middle class are showing. It's a middle class person. Benue State. It's a middle class person, low class. So now can go and say, okay, richest man. Who's the richest man here? So here we can use our his number search to search the richest man. So equals to his number, right? Then we now pick search. We are searching for the name of that person, right? We now say search for person in that state is Ada. Search for Ada. And then search for Ada. Search for Ada. What do we as results? Search for Ada. Cell. Search for Ada here. Then close. Right? That is two bracket inside, comma, and then you close again. See? Let's close with that. So you start with this. So there is another in that cell. So after that, just want him to bring out true. Come in again and say if bracket um if this guy here is equals to, so now we are looking at, so we want to bring out other, but we want to use a condition. Okay, so since the richest man, if this guy here is equals to um higher class, then take this guy here, then take comma this guy here, covering the is two. If this is correct, then take this and then say other is, let's put it this way. Say something I need to do first. Something to do first. So we are going to use all these names. We are going to use test to column. This is trying to test what we've done. Use test to column to bring out the names, data. So test to column, delimiter. Yeah, let's use space. Then we say finish. So we have these names here. I'll pick them up, bring them here. It's a place we've created. Right? So we found that these people are here. So we can now say if bracket this place here is equal to high class, then comma, find out if Ada is in that place, find out if Ada is in this cell, and if Ada is there, bracket this up to the bracket and take calculate Ada here is a, sorry, I need to put quotation mark, is the richest in those Abia, comma, open quotation mark, state. This is not the case. This is not the case. Then just tick empty. So we have this. Take this. Sometimes the bracket you use is very important. You have to count them 1, 2, 3 here. From here you have 1, 2, 3. So that's correct. 1, 2, 3. To take your concaconnate, that is the richest man. Okay, good. So you just remove the last quotation. So because Ada is found in this search engine, and then use text to column to bring out the name, we can have this. We can decide not to do this, to just come inside here instead of putting this and just put Ada. But that would mean we'll have to be searching for every other person too, like this. To still work, if I delete this, to still work. What means that wherever I push this to, it will be picking just Ada only. And if it doesn't see Ada, you understand? So in order not to have this, change this so that by the time we drag down, it will give us a result we want. So let's see why it's still repeating Ada in all. Okay, because we are still using Ada inside here. Sorry. So I will now pick this and then drag down. So, but then remember we gave him a command and say if this guy here is high class. So why is it now still picking the concatenate value? Because the command here higher is negating this. So what we could do is that since we have this already, we can come over here and say if again this place here is equal to higher class. Oh, I see where we made a mistake. So we don't have higher, we have high class. So let me change this to high class. High class, right? So it's not still giving the results. But let's do what we want to do. If in bracket this place is equals to high class. Then take all this result here. See the power of if, all this result here. Otherwise, take nothing. You see, so we get what we want. Otherwise, take nothing. So it picks only those people. You see, Mubarak is the richest in Cross River. Imagine. Don't know when my Mubarak went to live in Cross River. That is not the richest. Okay. Now here richest state in the past 3 years. I want to do richest state in the past 3 years. We are going to use sum if. So first of all, richest in income. You say sum if. So we have to have a sum if first to get the sum of all the income. So I'm going to insert a line here and then I'll come over here in all the 3 years. I'll say equals to sum if. We are trying to make use of all the formulas we've used. Then I'll pick all the data here. Call the data here. Call the data here. I'll say sum if it is what Abia. It's Abia sum. Then I'll tell him where to sum. Sum A average earning. Then I will close. So because I'm going to drag this formula down later, I'm going to absolute the areas I don't want to change, make them a constant by pressing function F4. Here too, touch the middle of it, you can say function F4 in your keyboard. Touch the middle here and say function F4, and then touch the middle here and say function F4. But we don't want this guy, the ABIA, to be a constant. So I'll press enter. I'll turn this to accounting value. That's the average income. Average income. So this can actually be here. Let's take it here. Okay. So I will drag down to get the average income. These are the average income for the 3 years. The average income for the 3 years. I mean the sum of the income, not the average. Sum of the average incomes for the 3 years. So for us to get the average income, right? Because what we picked now, we tell him to sum up the average income. So this gives you the average income for Abia State, right? So chess state. Now for us to get the average income, we're going to just say I want to get the richest state in the past 3 years, right? The richest state in the past 3 years. So let's look for the mood. Let's look for the mood. What is the mood data? The highest. Right? Mood should be the highest. The mood is so want to do is the highest income here be the richest, right? So to get the highest income, we need to cut the values and then find which one will be the highest. So the highest value here, if we filter, we can, let's use a range. Since it's now below our, higher than our assignment value, which is 250, we can now use the range. So the range here, let's see what the range will be, or the average will be. Let's use the average, all this value as a test. So the average 549. So let's say 550,000. Anybody above 550,000 will be the richest. This is the average. What will be the median, then the mood. This function is available for compatibility with Excel. Returns the most frequent occurring. So that's not what we want. We want the max here. Returns the largest value in a set of value. Okay, let's use the max, right? To find out the largest value. The largest value here is going to be 86, and then the lowest value, or we say minimum, is this, right? So that's the lowest and the highest. Then the range will be this minus this, right? Remember our statistics divided by 2. This will be the range. Okay, now I use these values, copy them, and keep them somewhere here. See if I copy it properly. Yeah, so keep them somewhere here. This is the average. This is the highest. This is what the minimum, or let's say lowest. So if we have all this data now, we can now find the richest state in the past 3 years, right? To say if this guy here is greater than or equal to this guy here, then tell him that richest state. Richest state in 5 years. Richest state in 5 years. Otherwise, say or middle class state. So we can decide to concatenate here. Concatenate. Then we bring in the state itself, which is this, comma, abia, can now say, sorry, is the richest state. Richest state in the past 5 years. And then we close here. Or we still do the same thing here. But this time around, take middle class. Say is a middle class state in the past 5 years, right? And then we close to work something, right? So because we are picking this information, this Q4, this will not change. So we put it as a constant. I hope you've not forgotten how to make it as constant. And then can drag down. So with this now, we have information about the states, but they're only telling us either they are middle class or they are richest state. So where is the richest state? We can now use conditional formatting to find out the richest. So I pick the word richest here, and then I touch this cell. I go to home, say conditional format, text for the word richest, and when you see it, give it a green value, right? What ought to happen? Touch here. Let's look for our richest state. Oh, that's our richest state. That's our richest state. Let me put a space here. That's our richest state. So you see how our data being analyzed. Right? So, but then we have the poorest state. The poorest state will be the one that is having below the average, or maybe 1/8, below 1/8. So we add another one. If in brackets this guy here is less than 150, 999, right? Comma. Then take concatenate then you take this guy here is the poorest state in the past 5 years. Alright, and then we must close with another bracket. Alright, see, okay. So this, let's see if there's an error. This guy here, 1000, Q4 is less than this. Then take this. Okay, I didn't close this bracket, sorry. Just to close this bracket here. Then add another bracket. Let's see what's wrong with it. If guy here is less than this, the poorest state in the past 5 years. Okay, let me just pick this back here and redo. See if in brackets this guy here is less than equal to this guy here is less than equal to 150 to 3. Then take concatenate the states, comma, quotation mark opening is the poorest in the past 5 years or 3 years. 3 years we've done, 3 years. quotation marks, right, bracket close, then comma. What happened? Yes, so it should be like this. Because we have used this guy, right? Okay, so let's try to use the actual value here, this 180. And then we absolute it. Then we can say, add another function, see poorest, conditional format. See the word poorest. Do you need to read? So I not say poorest here. So this is the lowest. We're going to increase this. So if we have this and this, let's take this to the average, right? Let's take it to the average. Look at what I'll do. Instead of referencing this cell, I will just lift it and drag it to this one. So I will drag down. See? Then middle class can take another value, right? Middle class. Middle class. Let's give it a highlight. Highlight. Come on. And home, so we need to go outside first. And then take conditional formatting. Middle class to have yellow fill. All you need to do is to format paint all. Okay, so this we have our values. So we can actually stop here, not to give ourselves too much work. But then want to do a work here. Assignment still continues. Produce a database showing the richest state in the past 3 years. Do a map. So for us to produce that database, we go back to our data and state. So we can use search. Also, is number search. I want you to know how to use this very well. Search for this state, comma, in this place, right? And tell us whether it's available or not. If it is true, it's available. Then if it is true, what do you do? If this guy here is available, it's true, then take the guy's name. Otherwise, take empty. See? And then you drag down. How to pick the states. So, final result. Let's pick this guy here. Tell you what we're going to use it for. Just drag down, creating a database. Then we can come over here and this performing state. Can come over here and do what we call data validation. data validation list. Pick our data from here. Right? Enter, we copy and we paste. Such that whenever we open here, we can see the states. Right? So here, can actually do something here to say if in bracket this guy here is greater than this guy, comma, then take all this, otherwise take empty. What we are trying to do now is pick out the states that are within the middle class, right? The middle class and above. The middle class state and above. All these are states in the past 5 years that have been in the middle class. So here can also be a conditional format if this is equal to not empty, it's empty, take 0. If it's not empty, then take this value. All this we are doing is to show you the different ways you can manipulate data, right? So with this, we can now continue with what we are doing here by saying VLOOKUP for these states in this set of data. We will start from here to have everything that will have state. Okay. So here, let's do this way. Comma, and then tell him to look for something in volume. You count from where you did, which is 1, 2, 3, right? So this place you have data should be 3, and then you now say false because you want it to bring the exact value. Let's do it again. First to VLOOKUP, start from where we have the state so that we don't have issues. I will include this, include more because of what else. So that is the second column we are looking for. Sorry, here would have started with the state itself. This, comma. Let's do it again. VLOOKUP Fabia states in this sheet here and get us the value volume 3 and let it be the exact value, not approximate. No, that shouldn't be. Okay, number 2, sorry. It's column 2. Should work. Okay, because Abia has nothing. If you absolute all this absolute, like them a constant, Abia has nothing, right? constant. How to solve this error problem is to come in here and then say we just take one, that it will not show blank. Choose it. So RBI is not even there, that's why. So what we have before is correct. RBI is not counted as part of the state. So again, right? So we've absoluted this. So I will just drag it and then bring in other state, Akwa Ibom, Benue, and then Borno, and then Cross River, and then Ekiti. These are the states with the richest income earners in the past 3 years. Tinubu, Imo, and then Kano, and then Katsina, and then Lagos. So let's just remove these ones, right? So we can see states with the richest people in the past 3 years. Average income, right? So this now we can plot our map. By just taking this and say insert map, right? You have a map, very simple. And you can actually color this map by formatting. It to whatever color you want. So you can decide to format based on these outcomes. So this will be another time. So this becomes the map. Then let's now do our protection of structure and others. So if I want to protect everything except this, because if I change this now to this, you have most states coming in, right? And see that most states are coming in and their income value is changing. So the income value is changing. So with this, you can change to whatever you want to move the information. Now I want to protect everything except maybe the state. So if I want to protect, first of all, I click here, remember, and then I'll go to and say unlock. Then I will now lock where I want. Let's choose the ones I want and lock now. All my formulas, I want them locked. So all this locked to here, right? Then I will say format lock cell. Then I'll go again, format cell, text lock, so that you don't see the formula I use. Then I'll go to review, and protect sheet 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then hide tabs to option, and I say advance. Here are my tabs. See my tabs. Alright, so that they don't see this information I've gotten. So with this, we have been able to manipulate data the way we want. Now we are going to send, you can see these formulas, but you cannot see these ones, right? You can't see what is inside the cells. Okay, I can decide to remove the bars, the headings, make it plain like this. I just hope I'm not too fast. That's why I say video. Try and do the assignment, then Friday meet and see how this has helped.